What's your earliest memory of Camp Mac?
My earliest memory, I was probably 5 or 6. My mother was a Sunday school teacher, and she came up here with a couple of other Sunday school teachers, and I'm guessing it was for a weekend. I'm not sure, but I know I came, and I can vividly remember sitting on Vesper Hill, and there were dairy cows across the lake, came down to drink water, and I got homesick really the whole deal. But that was the earliest memory I had, though. So it's a good memory.
Did you come to Camp Mac more when you were growing up?
Oh yeah, never missed a summer. Never missed a summer. You started when you were 10 years old then, and yeah, I went all the way through youth camp, and then the year after youth camp, I started counseling, and I don't think I ever missed a year of counseling. I drug Carlita along when I got married in, and brought Carlita, and she thoroughly enjoyed it too. So, yeah,
Awesome.
been a good time. Loved it.
When did you join Camp Mac staff?
96, July of 96. We came up here, and we stayed in room 8 in Becker. That was a really small room, and then in the fall, Becky said, "Well, how about moving to room 9, which is considerably bigger?" And we finished up the residence out here that year, and we got to move out. I think it was in February or March that we got to move out there. Becky was the one that came down and talked to us and opened her arms and said, "Why don't you come join the family?" And we did, and we really loved it. It's been wonderful. Oh, I came as a drill worker, and I washed a lot of dishes. Betty Kreider. And Betty taught me how to do the housekeeping side of it. She and I worked on that. I helped Mike. Mike was pretty involved with the building the residence out here. And so I helped him with other facility things. And then I did housekeeping. And that fall then, when all the summer staff left, I did quite a bit of dishwashing and things like that too. So I've done a lot of the various work around here. So it gives you a good broad view of what needs to get done. So
Yeah. So, with all your summers here at camp, there's so many things that you have done here as a camper and as a staffer. If you could only do one thing for your whole summer, what activity would you spend the summer doing?
I thoroughly enjoy working with volunteer groups doing a project around here. And we've done a bunch of projects with volunteer groups, but to see them get enthused, and most of the time when a volunteer group comes, they love this place anyway, and to share that and to work at that. And Camp Mac is a sanctuary where people connect with God, and we, from the facility aspect, have a role in creating that sanctuary experience. And boy, to be a part of that with another group it's exciting. It's just really fulfilling. I thoroughly enjoy doing that.
So, in your time, how have you really connected with God here at Camp Mac?
It's been a deepening experience. This thing of creating a sanctuary where others connect with God, it has become more and more important to me that we help people connect. We are not here to help them make changes in their life. We're here to help them make the connection, and God's going to make the changes in their life. And to have to play a role in that is very satisfying. I feel a strong calling to do that, and I really enjoy being a part of that. So,
how have you really felt your own faith grow during your time here?
I didn't realize there was a calling to this until I got here. Carlita did. Carlita felt that we were called, and I didn't feel that, but we came. And under Becky's guidance, to feel that we had a purpose here. God wanted us here to do that. And boy, it's just a real strengthening thing.
So, in 2014, you took over as interim executive director and then eventually served as executive director. What was that change of call like?
It was very difficult. but there was a very good group of people on the board then that were willing to help, and staff. We all wanted this place to be successful, to save this place in a certain respect, and so everybody came in and worked at it. My experience in farming, I was pretty good at the accounting side of it, making budgets and living to budgets, and so that was really, really useful. But for the staff, the whole group of us, to draw together and to work hard to make the changes that were necessary, and they were painful changes, but it was a very satisfying thing at the end of that period of time that we were able to do that and make that work. It was kind of scary at times.
Yeah.
It was a heavy responsibility, and I wouldn't want to do it again, but but we got it done. We did it, you know. So,
as you look towards the future of Camp Mac, what are your hopes and dreams for this place?
The world needs a sanctuary. The world needs a place to come to get away from the world, and the need is greater than ever, and it's challenging. It's challenging to make the budgets work and all that, but it's such a needed place that I hope we can go for a long time to keep this green space, this beautiful lake, this place where we can connect with God through His natural world. That's just an important thing for us all to work hard at to make that happen. I think about all those saints that have gone before us that made this place work. As a historian, you know all that, and to play the little bitty role just is very satisfying, and to move us forward into the next stage, whatever that is. So I've thoroughly enjoyed that.
A big part of your summer for many years has been Grand Camp.
Yeah.
And is it a challenge to become a camper again? Or is it nice to get away from the radio for a little bit?
It's not a challenge to become a camper. We just stepped right into that role, and to do that with that other grandma and grandpas that's a fun thing to do, and to be able to connect with our grandkids in a special way for 3 days is just really cool. But you still see things that need to get done, and you still have conversations around the edges with the people, with some staff, you know. But no, I love it. And it's a good thing for we as staff to get on that end of it too, to see what it's like and what some of the things we might do better, how that feels. So yeah, that was a fun time.
Do you have any specific stories or memories of camp here, whether as a camper or a staff member, that you'd like to share?
I don't know about specific stories. I've always thought about, why was camp so important to me? Why was I drawn to camp? I had a great family, mom and dad, sisters, you know, had a great local church, but there was something special about coming to camp. It was probably I was starting to develop a faith of my own, and you could explore at camp. I remember the campfires and the singing, and it really touched you, you know. So I think youth camp too was probably particularly important in my life as a kid. And then I remember as Carly and I were counselors for youth camp for quite a while. It's just it was a cool time to try to figure out what your life is supposed to look like, and what that connection to God, making that connection on your own, you know. This is a wonderful place. And you get that when you talk to other campers, you know. You get those stories, and there's just a camp friendship, you know, that exists because we connected with God in a different way here at camp than we did back at home. So it's a good place.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Galen, so much for the work you have done here at camp. You mentioned being just a tiny little part of the great story, but I think you're a lot bigger part than you're willing to admit. So thank you for being the part of Camp Mac.
Thank you.